Okay, so the first short story, um, the first short story was about uh, Fortunato and Montresor. Montresor. Um, so the topic was the cask of Al Amontillado. And so when I read the story, it kind of like it's about these two guys. So like they were best friends, and then but um Mon Fortunato, like he was I think he was a joker and stuff. So he always did crazy things, and then in the end, Montresor, like he just got fed up of the jokes that was played on him and stuff, and so he decided to pay like revenge, pay back on what Fortunato had done to him, and so he decided to 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 kill his to to kill his friend. Um, and so um, how are the elements of plot important in these stories? So I think the plot was like a revenge on Fortunato. So Montresor was trying to um do trying to revenge what Montresor had done, and um yeah, that was the plot. There were like a lot of different kind of plots. One of them was like it was about conflict also, like between Fortunato and Montresor. Um, and so the plot of the story was about revenge, in my opinion. And the next question was the exposition. So, um, how does the exposition tell us or about what characters about tell us things about characters that adds to how we respond to the story. So in the first four paragraphs of in the story of the cask of Amontillado, um, um, it gave like a really. It also talked like the exposition was also about the conflict between them. How Montres, like he wanted to revenge what Fortunato had done to him. And then he finally got his revenge back by killing him in the end, by murdering his best friend. And the conflicts that I saw was in the story of the cask of Amontillado was like the conflicts was between those two. Um how Fortunato had insulted Montresor, which resulted in his death in the end. Um it was kind of like a man versus man kind of thing, how we read in the setting and stuff. Um, and the next one was the major conflicts in the story. Yeah, the major conflict was between both of them. Um, a conflict derived from motivation. So I felt like Montresor was really angry at whatever Fortunato had done to him. Like in the past, whatever Fortunato had, um, like all the jokes he had done to Montresor in the past, like he was okay with it, like he was humble and stuff. But the last thing that he did, he was like so fed up and stuff. which like made him wanna revenge, which made him wanna like do bad things to Fortunato. What is the climax? So of the story, I think it was. There's a lot of part where I think there was a climax, but the one that stood out for me was like in the end, where it says, well, like he was putting the bricks up to try and seal Fortunato inside the tunnel. I think that was a really huge climax in the story. Cause like that was the end and how there was no going back, even though Fortunato had begged Montresa to try and let him go, or like begging him that he didn't want to die, but Fortunato just left him there and kept piling the bricks up, and then that was like to me the climax of the story. And yeah, that's what I got from the story of a cask of Amontillado. The cask of Amontillado. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Um, yeah, so I thought the same thing. I thought the elements of the plot um, that was important was the how you can kind of see what's his name, Fortunato's personality. Like he's kind of bossy, and he's like bringing this guy along, like, oh, I should be the one to taste the wine, and even when he's like, you're not a mason, like he's telling the guy like, there's no way that you could be a mason, and every time that he told him they should turn around, he's like, no, we should keep going, we should keep going. He was, and it kind of like that's like the rising action of the story, and you kind of think they don't really tell us like what he did
Mm.
to like make this guy so mad, um, except for like it involves insulting, and the fact that he has the clown's hat on makes you, because it has the bells on it, makes you think that like he probably just made fun of this guy, which seems like the conflict. Yeah, I think it's man versus man as well as like man versus himself. Like I feel like this guy has issues. Like I don't know what he did, but I don't think Fortunato deserves to die. How does the exposition either tell us, wait to tell us, or not tell us things about characters that adds to how we respond to the story? It didn't tell us what he did to make him so mad, and that affects the way I respond to the story because, in my opinion, I don't think anything he did, but like would have. I don't think anything he did was worth death, but who knows? He might have killed that guy's whole family or something like that.
Yeah, like he
Um,
didn't deserve to die also.
Yeah, so that's just how I feel. Like I don't know what he actually did. If they did tell us more in the exposition, then maybe it would have changed things. But so far, I don't think he deserves to die. What is the major conflict in each of these stories, and how does that relate to the story's message? So in just this one, I think it's the fact that he like that he killed someone, like he murdered someone. And that's when does the climax come, and how is that important to the story's message? When he decides, because when he kills him is the first time that you realize that he's not actually, like, this whole thing was planned. Um, that he there was no wine cellar, there was no uh, wine to
No.
taste, and he like had prepared like where the shovel, the bricks and the mortar was. Um, yeah, in fact, just because, yeah. Um, so just the fact that he planned this murder, I think, was the the climax of it, and then like, and that you see that he planned it this whole time. Um, Man, the thing I wanted to quote though that could show you something about Fortunato. I'm saying his name weird too. Fortunato is when the other guy says, um, Montressor says, I used to be like you, I used to be rich, used to have everything. And so he's kind of like at a, I don't know if he like resents, like he's mad, probably jealous, but he definitely like this guy Fortunato is successful. He's one to be feared. And so I don't know if he doesn't like him just because you're the center of attention right now. Um, but to know that he's focused his attention on, like he says that in the beginning, like every time he smiles now, uh, like, and he did not perceive that my smile now was at the thought of his immolation, and that was that was what I thought was the like they mentioned that in the beginning, and I thought that's what the climax was when you actually see the fruits of that. How is the conflict resolved or not resolved, and how does that add to the story's message? I think because I don't think the conflict is that he wants revenge. I think the con or because I don't think the conflict is is whatever like offended him. I don't think it's resolved by getting revenge. So so I don't think it goes resolved. And the way that adds to the story is um it has so much mystery shrouded behind it. Like if he was such a person of power, then like how come no one found him? Did they in fact like catch his murderer because or something like that. I don't know. It has so much mystery because it doesn't resolve that. In each case, quote the story to support your answers. Okay, so that were the two things. It was the one that like now he smiles for his immolation, and his funny friend Fortunato likes to see his friend smile, and and also the fact that he can there was a like Fortunato was in a position of power um, that he brought up, like, oh yeah, you, as well as like a position of power that teases other people when he's like impossible, a Mason, and yeah, in each case, oh yeah, that was it. Oh yeah, so that's what I thought on that story.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Uh, Pretty much the same for me. Uh, so like at first, uh, like when I first started reading, so about the plot, so let me read the question. So the elements of plot important in stories, well, it's just as you guys said, the the climax. Like the most important is the fact that uh, like he wanted to kill his friend. Like, you guys think they were friends?
Yeah, kinda.
I don't
I
think
feel
they're
like
like,
they were friends. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know if they're like best friends, but I like he he will always like smile around each other. So and he what is that? It says in the beginning he the thousand injuries of Fortunato I had borne as I best could. Um, but when he ventured upon insult, I vowed revenge. So I feel like he's at least someone that he bore his like he would deal with Fortunato like he didn't mind until that one thing, and then he was just like, oh, now I don't like him anymore. And so they must have like hung out a lot or something in order for him to like um pile that on.
Hmm.
Because I
Or
feel like
maybe
even
they
like
used to
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe they used to joke around and stuff. I don't know. And then like the last joke that he did, then he just couldn't take it anymore. And I don't know, cause like he seemed like the kind of guy, like a kind of guy who always like had fun and stuff, drank a lot, and just hang out with his buddies and stuff. And maybe I don't know, sounds new. Yeah, but maybe they're not that best friends.
Yeah, like yeah, maybe they're best friends. And so how does exposition either tell us or a way to tell us or not tell us things about characters? So yeah, like as we know, like we're just trying to guess about their personalities, about their relationship, and so how much do we know about them? Well, we just know that there's revenge in that story, and just it already I already smell something uh, bad happening. And then the rest just gives us just gives us more elements until we reach the uh, the major conflict. So so the major conflict to me is just like you guys said also one. Like Fortunato is like he likes to be maybe better than everyone else. He's prideful, like Tita said, bossy, and like you can just tell by also like what when he say you're not a mason. Yeah, I like that one very much. And mm, uh, so like maybe like the main conflict was just that the two of them were different. Yeah, but you can say like if one is mad and the other one doesn't get mad but keeps being uh, uh, boasting about his knowledge and uh, of himself, then that got the other one mad. And so and when the climax come at the end, right? Yeah. And so I don't really have a lot to say because you guys say what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
And so how is the conflict is resolved? Um, I don't know if after like getting revenge, the conflict is resolved. I'm not sure about that personally. But do you guys understand the last word, the last line in case or in passive, which means that? Do you understand that?
I can Google it. I thought it was. I don't know what I thought it was. I thought it was just like the end. Oh, rest in peace.
It's rest in peace, right?
Maybe it looks
Yeah,
like it will be.
yeah, I think it's something like that. And that's like the uh, important element, I think,
Oh
because
yeah,
at
it's rest in
the
peace.
end. So I guess he got his revenge. Uh, and yeah, that's like to me that's like the way to say that. All right, end of the story. Yep. Okay, thank you
That
guys.
that's super cool because it's almost like because he's saying rest in peace.
Mhm.
Um, do you think he was able to forgive him just after he killed him? Like, oh, now we're cool.
これから飾らなきゃ欲しいものある。
Uh,
あ、もしかしてメッセージ作ってた？いや、してない。わざわざ来た。うん。
maybe he's saying something like, "Funny, I won't have to deal with him
こ
anymore."
の前の初めてのやつ。売ってる？売ってる。あのね、薬のコーナーにね。あ、見たかもしれない。What did you say?
Like about what Tevita. So by saying rest in peace at the end,
Yeah.
so maybe the fact to say to keep that for the end means that because he got rid of his troubles, his problems, his conflict, he got rid of it.
Yeah.
He can say to his friend, rest in peace. and goodbye. It's like he's saying, I would say there's just like some relief. Doesn't have to worry about revenge because
Yeah, I think, yeah. Can you hear me?
yes. Oh, Tabitha, you said something?
I was turning you down while Manu was speaking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it was really loud. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna.
Yannick, you have friends in your room?
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay, they can participate with us, you know.
I think it's Japanese. You won't understand.
Oh. Well, I know how to speak Japanese, like you said. Where are you from? Ohio.
No. I thought it was Genki. Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know any Japanese. I just know Konnichiwa and Genki desu ka.
Where did you get my joke?
Ohio, isn't that yes? No, I didn't get it. Sorry.
Oh, Ohio is good morning.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. So a Japanese who doesn't speak English, you ask him, "Where are you from?" And he says to you, "Ohio."
No, I get it. I'm from what?
You need to talk to
Ohio.
your roommates more, man.
I know. Anyway.
Yeah, so that's a joke I thought of a long time ago.
Where are they from? Ohio.
Yeah,
That's
Ohio.
really
It's
good.
exactly the same way to say, the area in America called Ohio. It's the same way.
Yeah. That's really smart. I should use that.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Sorry.
No
So the
worries.
next short story that I read um was what was the name of this?
The lottery.
The what?
Lot.
The yeah, the lottery. Yeah, I really felt sorry for. I hate this story. I kind of hate it, but then I hate it and I feel sorry for them, the people in this story. So the story um it begins like um so it's about lottery, right? You know, when I saw like the word lottery, I kind of expected it to be about like, you know, gambling and stuff, like lottery, like people winning a lottery and stuff like that. But then when I read the story, it was really sad. The whole concept of lottery in this story was totally different to what I was thinking about. Um, um, I and then when they had to pick their piece of paper, um, and then they were kind of nervous when they were picking the piece of paper. I I was wondering why were they like nervous and all that, and why everyone was kind of like held back and stuff. Um, because it's a lottery, like I know everyone should have been excited because they would have been excited to find out who was gonna win and stuff. But then Tess Hutchinson, like she kind of protested about the lottery. And then that's when I realized that it wasn't like a normal lottery, but then it was something about murdering someone, and I felt so. And then I read about this, and like I think it really like this is based on a true story. Like people in the states, well, somewhere in the states really did this before. And so like Tess, she was like she like it was kind of about like suspense. Like Tess, she didn't want to get the piece of paper, but then she was the one who got it, and then when we finally realized that Tess was the one to be murdered, and I was I felt so sad because did Tess have any kids? I don't know. Did it say that she had kids or anything? I just
Yeah,
know she had a husband. She had kids, right?
yeah, they drew too.
Oh man, I really felt so bad because then she had to leave her kids behind and stuff, and her husband. She really did die in the end.
I don't think she died.
Oh, oh crap, she didn't die.
Well, like she got stoned, but I don't
Oh,
think
she.
I don't know if you live like because my brother got stoned on his mission twice, not this kind, but he lived. So I don't think you die
Oh,
every time you get. I think it hurts a lot, but
yeah, because when I was reading this and like the movie that popped in my head was the Stoning of Soraya. Have you guys watched that movie?
No.
How she's a Muslim lady and she was stoned to death, and then that's what I was thinking about the whole time. I felt like she was stoned to death or something.
oh, maybe she was.
Yeah,
Yes, I don't know.
I don't know too. Like it was kind of confusing. Um, yeah, and so I had to find out about. It's also kind of about conflict, also the same as the first short story that we read. How how they protested against the lottery, but then there was nothing they could do about it because it kind of felt like it was traditional. They always did that, and so they kind of had no choice but to participate in it. That's what I think, but I'm not really sure. And then the next question is exposition. What's the major conflict? Major conflict is um participating in that lottery game. That's to me that's a conflict. Like, why do they have to do that in the first place? But yeah, as I had said before, it must have been traditional. And the climax to me was when she had protest when wait no when,
What?
Did, did she freeze on your computer too?
Yeah, she looks like Frozen now.
Unless she's standing really still.
Yeah, how does she do that?
Ohio, can you hear us, Yannick?
Are you talking to Yannick?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yannick, we can't hear you, but we're in the middle of the broadcast. I think I'm gonna just start. Or what
yeah.
do you think, Manu?
Okay, in order to finish up, right?
Yeah, so then like and when she comes back on
Okay. Well, you can go for it. Tell
okay,
me about.
I don't want her to get mad though.
It's,
Um
it's okay, just talk about it.
I'll try to do it fast then.
She's not
So
she's not gonna murder you.
she's not gonna stone me to death. The elements in the plot. Oh, she's gone. Okay. The elements in the plot are important because they build up the lottery, and I think it has a good connotation now, like Yannick was saying, but we don't know that it's actually something bad at the end. The exposition doesn't tell us what started the tradition, like why they do it, or if she dies, and that helps you, like that causes you to question, like why did they do it, and how does she live? Like, is this normal? Will she get back? Did she only think it was unfair, um, because that meant she was gonna die, so she like fought it at the end? I don't know. What is the major conflict in each of the in the story? I think, and how does it relate to the message? I think it's like because the first time she showed up, she was late, and then she was making everyone laugh, and then it changed because it was her. It meant all the difference of like, oh, then now I'm gonna just switch, and this is not a smart idea to have this this thing. This whole lottery is stupid, And she didn't say that. In fact, yeah, no. So she wasn't saying that the lottery was stupid. Everyone else was saying we should do away with lotteries, and she was just saying it was unfair for her. So that's what I was like. I don't think she. The only thing she had a problem with in the story was that she was the one chosen. So I think there's a conflict in the point where everyone thought this was okay. It's only not okay when it's you, apparently.
Sorry,
Like,
Rick, that was my side. The connection just stopped. Yeah, so that was my part of the story.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. You may continue.
so we kind of started without you.
Oh my goodness. Joke. Continue.
Oh, okay, man. Okay, then the I think the climax for me was when she gets stoned. Um, because at that point you're like, are they serious? Where is that? So and how is the conflict resolved or not resolved, and how does that add to the story's message? So I think the conflict like the conflict is not resolved because they're still doing this, and the parts that I want to quote is to like prove this is so the first thing was but no one liked to upset even as much tradition as was represented by the black box. So they like talk about how they didn't want to upset tradition, but it talks about a lot of changes that they made, be it chips in wood and what the so they made all those changes, and then at the end they say they like talk about these changes and they say it in the most wrong way ever. Was although the villagers have forgotten the ritual and lost the original black box, they still remember to use stones. Which means like they did away with a lot of the ritual already, but they kept the using the stones part, which I thought was idiotic. And then when they're talking about like, 'cause that's like all they cared about was that they got the stone someone, especially the attitude of the kids in the beginning, where they're kind of excited for the whole thing to go down, so they're the ones collecting stones and making almost like a festival kind of thing about it. Um, what is the other the Old Man Warner, how they have they Mrs. Adams says this. Some places have already quit lotteries, and then Old Man Warner says nothing but trouble in that pack of young fools. And so you're like seeing how what why is it troublesome to quit these lotteries? Like what's gonna happen? Like in the States, I assume it probably was to like keep Puritans pure and like the fear in God is instilled by the will of this society, but it's even when it happened in like the Bible, it almost seems like the whole reason why the discipline was given was because they didn't want to discourage you from doing the wrong thing, and it almost developed to the point where people are excited to give them the consequence. And those are my thoughts.
Okay. So the conflict is not resolved, you said, huh? Lisa?
Huh?
You said the conflict is not resolved, right?
Sorry, what was that?
You said that the conflict is not resolved.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I don't think the conflict's resolved because they stoned her at the end. But I think the conflict is that they're all like they look forward to this. Because even she looked forward to it until her family was drawn. Like they didn't have a problem with it. Like, and I think that's what the conflict is that we're all cool with this is everyday life.
And what about Yannick? Do you think the conflict is resolved?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
普段さ、NHK のラジオ体操とかやってる人の女性、結構な年だし。
All right, it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
画像は
All right. So Whew. Question. So, like the important elements in the story are like the black box, the stones, the people.
Sorry, guys. This thing will be recorded and sent to my teacher. Please. It's my assignment.
And how does exposition either tell us, way to tell us? So I think the exposition like waited to tell us what was gonna happen because the the because the climax is when she gets stoned, right? And so that's like at the end. And um, so like the major conflict is that someone has to die. I think that's wow. That's like that's really hard to for me to like to conceive that to understand that philosophy, that lifestyle, uh, that that destiny or that fate for these people. I think like all of us like we are all fated to die someday, and no one has the right to choose the time beside God. And so in the main conflicts, like those people, I think they didn't have a choice. Someone had to die. That's like the tradition, and they all knew that. They all gathered at one place. That's why they were not, like very very happy. Some were upset about uh, drawing the lottery, but they had no choice, no agency, and and maybe like wait. And so when does the climax come, and how that's important to the story's message? Yeah, so when she gets stoned at the end, right? That's like the the most important thing and sad at the same time. And so like the line at the last uh, like at the very end where you see old man Warner was saying, come on, everyone." And so it's like he was telling you, all right, let's deal with this. Let's end the ritual. It's like a ritual. It's like let's kill her. Hurry up. And so I don't think uh, they were enjoying doing that. I think what they were happy about is the fact that they were not the ones getting stoned to death. It was someone else. So they still had one more year to live. Yeah. And the conflict is not resolved because it's still gonna happen again and again. That's why it's the major conflict. That someone had to die, someone, until the last survivor. There's really no end to that tradition, which is not fair and not right. Like the last line. Yeah. Yep, that's what I had to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Going to stop now.
All right.